HoboHooligans here. That was an M13 intro right there. Hey, this is M13 here. No. Buckling my helmet. I got a new camera set up. I hope y'all like that better. It's a lot better than it was. As y'all can tell, this doesn't look right. God, it doesn't want to shift. It's pissing me off. Okay, so my dad owns a hunting guide service. So basically, people pay him to take them hunting. Dang it. So people pay him a couple $100 and he'll drive them to Oklahoma or around East Texas where I live. More specifically, White House, Texas. If anyone lives there, good for you, because this place kind of sucks. But anyways, we were in Oklahoma this one year. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 3. I'm not completely sure. Yeah, it was a couple years ago, and we had our four-wheeler, and we had this big trailer behind it. It's like 20-foot long trailer. It's huge. And we had all our hunting gear on, and there is a fallen down tree in my path. I know. This is sketchy as crap. This is a lot steeper than it looks, and that is neutral. I just rode a wheelie. But anyways, yeah, we had the trailer with all our gear on it. It was loaded down with people and gear, several hundred pounds. The back end of the spoiler was just squatted down. It was actually pretty funny looking. But yeah, we had this thing parked. We parked it in 3 or 4 fields away than where we were hunting, just because that's not very hidden looking with a giant four-wheeler with a trailer in the middle of a field where you're hunting. So yeah, we had it pretty far away. And we unloaded all our stuff, took it down there, and my dad left the key in the ignition of the four-wheeler, and you're probably getting at where this is going now. But yeah, we went and set up our blind, got everything together, and we noticed that there was a bunch of cows around the four-wheeler, like a dozen of them, maybe 2 dozen, I'm not sure. It was a bunch of cows. There's a bunch of leaves right there, like a 1.5 feet. But anyways, we looked at it through the telescope. We're like, why are there a bunch of cows around there? And we noticed that they were all licking the four-wheeler, like excessively licking the four-wheeler, like not just 1 or 2 licks. I mean, they were going at it, like making out with the four-wheeler. It was actually pretty funny. We were sitting there hysterically laughing. We didn't know what was going on. And my gate's shut. Well, they were licking the four-wheeler. We laughed about it for the rest of the hunt. We had a pretty good hunt. I think we all limited out. I'm not sure. And if you don't know what that means, there's a certain limit on animals you can kill. Saying we were goose hunting that day, and there was a few ducks that came in too. But we got all our stuff together. We put it back in the four-wheeler. I mean, we walked and put it back on the four-wheeler, and we looked at the four-wheeler, and there's a tree. We looked at the four-wheeler, and you see this little purple spot right there? That's where the cows were licking all this, and they were licking all this, and it was all purple, and several other places that we patched up that you can't tell anymore. And we were pretty pissed about that, but it was still freaking hilarious. The cows licked the four-wheeler apart. But we took 2 more trips to the four-wheeler and got all our stuff put together, and I was gonna drive us back. We're late again. And I noticed there wasn't a key in the ignition. I thought my dad took it because I didn't see him leave it in there. And I asked him for the key, and he's like, what do you mean? I thought you had the key. And I'm like, no, I thought you had the key. He said, and then he remembered that he left it in the ignition, and the key wasn't there. And then we came to realize that the cows ate the key. They licked the key out of the ignition, I guess they ate it. And this is about where my camera runs out of space on my helmet. So I'm going to finish off the story here. So basically the cow ate it out of the ignition. It was sitting here licking the four-wheeler, and I guess he licked the key for some reason. I guess something that was on one of our hands or something got on there and made him want to lick it. And so they licked the key out of the ignition, and we thought they just dropped it on the ground, but we looked for hours on the ground, and there was no key anywhere. So yeah, the cow ate it. If I would have seen the cow eat it, I would have shot it and got the key back, but it wasn't my cow, so that wouldn't have been good. But sorry for any animal lovers. You would have done it too if you needed. If you're stranded in the middle of Oklahoma, I would have done it. But we broke open the ignition and was going to see if we can hotwire it, but there's a couple different wires that you have to use and do them in the right order unless you're going to fry it. And they did it on purpose so that thieves couldn't steal their four-wheelers. So we called the Honda dealership or Honda company or whatever you want to call it, and they didn't believe us. So we sit there for 2 hours trying to convince them that we're not trying to jack this four-wheeler from somebody and tell us how to hotwire it. They almost had to call the police on us because we're a bunch of hillbillies in the middle of Oklahoma having this crazy story about a cow eating their key out of the ignition, and now they need to hotwire it. So what else would you do? I'd probably call the cops if I were them. But good thing they didn't. We convinced them to tell them because I don't know how that ended up happening. So we got it hotwired. We drove back to the shop, or we drove back to the car where we can load it up on the trailer and everything, and we drove to the nearest Honda dealership, and they said that it would cost like $500 or $600 to put a new ignition in it. So I said screw that, and we went to Dollar General and got a toggle switch. It works fine. It's just a little ghetto switch thing. And we did have it siliconed in there first, but then it got rained on and fried. But every single time these things get wet, they fry. So we need to find like a marine switch or something for it. But that's how I lost the key, and that's why I have a crappy toggle switch thing on it. So y'all comment, rate, subscribe. I'll have more videos coming soon, and hope y'all like my new camera setup so I don't have that like really tiny sliver of a screen that y'all can actually see. And oh yeah, the garden snake. I've mentioned him more than once in my videos, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for what you've done to my channel now, because I put out that crazy hobo motovlog video with a stick, me jousting with a stick down the interstate. What? No. But anyways, you accepted that for one of your video responses, and I just want to say thank you for that, because since you've done that and subscribed to my channel, I had 9 subscribers, and now I have 30 subscribers, and that happened in like a day and a half, and it's still slowly going up. So I just want to say thank you so much, and I really highly appreciate it.